Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? It's Joy here from Spain Speaks. Out and about today, have a bit of an update chat, see what's going on. I'm in this barren wasteland that is the southeast of Madrid. Going to go for a bit of a walk. Somebody mentioned that I should be out hiking, getting out, enjoying the good weather, and that is what I'm going to do. And as you can see, it is a fantastic day today. So we'll talk about a few things, what's going on around the country, some of the new things that have happened, some of the older topics that have been popping up for a while now. So we'll just have a bit of a general chat while I go for my walk. Now I've also decided to have a walk up here today because there's nobody around, and that means that I don't have to wear a mask. Now there's a bit of a debate going on at the moment in Spain as to how long we're going to have to wear masks for. People don't really know. The government is saying one thing, experts are saying another thing, but probably until at least the summer, and it's all going to depend on the vaccination program, of course, whether that is advanced or not. Masks are going to be around until then. And it's been a long time wearing masks here in Spain. I think they became compulsory last year around June, July, maybe. Not sure exactly when that exact date was, but ever since then, masks have been compulsory in this country. You need to wear them everywhere you go, indoors, outdoors, crowded areas, uncrowded areas. You have to put on a mask. Here, obviously, there's no one around, so I don't have to wear one here. But if I go back down there to where the houses are, to where the flats are, and there's 3 or 4 people around in the streets, you've got to wear your mask. Now today we're going to find out about those travel restrictions here in Spain for Easter time, and they're even talking about extending them for the San Jose long weekend as well. I don't know if that's a public holiday here in Madrid, but it is in some other parts of the country. I think in the Valencian community, for example, they celebrate the San Jose religious festival. Here in Madrid, as I said, I don't think that is the case, but you never know because some years they do, some years they don't. But they're also talking about restricting mobility for those dates as well. So Easter restrictions, Easter mobility restrictions, people are not going to be able to leave their autonomous communities, which is a bit of a bummer. I'm sure that there are lots of people that would like to be able to go to the beach, to get away, to visit their families, but it's not going to be possible this year, I don't think. Students are going to be able to travel home if you're living in Madrid studying and you're from Castilla-La Mancha, for example, or if you are from Andalusia and you are a student, you're going to be able to go home, but the rest of us no. So, as I said, a bit of a bummer. It appears that they are going to get the consensus necessary to shut the country down. That's what the health minister has been going on about over the last couple of weeks, trying to get everybody on the same page. The maverick areas like Madrid are going to have to close, and we're going to be stuck here. The Canary Islands apparently is going to be open, so you're going to be able to go to the Canary Islands if you're able to get there. So if you're in France, if you're in Germany, you're going to be able to go to the Canary Islands, but not from the UK, because the travel ban on citizens from the UK coming to Spain has been extended, I think until the end of this month, and also for people from South Africa and Brazil. Wherever those variant strains of the coronavirus are, that is the reason why people from those countries are not allowed to come to Spain. So over the Easter period, we're going to be stuck here. The community of Madrid, as we know, is a very crowded little area, not much space, and there's going to be people everywhere, I imagine, especially if the weather is good, and I imagine that it is going to be good for that Easter break. Now, there was a fair bit of feedback about the illegal parties that have been going on around the country here in Spain over the last year or so. Something like 400 illegal parties in Madrid last weekend, and various other parties around the country. People out and about continuing to party because, let's be honest, this is a party country. I don't know what the situation is like in countries like the UK. I don't know what the situation is like in Ireland, whether there is talk about illegal parties every weekend, but here there are a lot of them going on. The comments were a little bit divided about illegal parties. Some people saying that people are young, they should be allowed to do whatever they want. They're young, they're free, let them party. And other people a little bit more conservative, saying that what happens if they then go and see their parents, see their grandparents, see elderly members of their family and pass the famous COVID-19 virus onto them? That's the question. And as we saw yesterday, a lot of the parties are not taking place anymore in private homes, but they're taking place in licensed establishments. Obviously, bars that are sick and tired of being shut down are deciding to open up for these parties, charging people an entrance fee, obviously, and obviously selling alcohol at the party and able to make a little bit of a profit. So it is against the law. People technically aren't allowed to get together at the moment. You're only allowed to get together with a maximum of 6 people on a terrace or an outdoor seating area here in Madrid. And of course, if you go to a bar, restaurant that has open for a private party with 40, 50, 60 people inside, then obviously you're going to be breaking the law. And let's be honest, there's just not enough police to stop all of these illegal parties, and that is why they are proliferating. Now, I was hoping to be able to see Madrid today. Madrid's about 14 kilometers away, the capital city there. Maybe you can just make out a couple of towers, a couple of those big towers or big construction towers in the north of the city, but I don't think we can really see them very well today because of the smog, that layer of smog that sits over the capital city on a daily basis, except when it's windy. Today there's not a lot of wind, hence the smog. And also there's a lot of activity in Madrid. As we know, Madrid has been open for business now, hasn't shut down. People are out and about driving their cars. There's a lot of trucks on the road, a lot of activity. So that is why we have smog levels again. I don't think there's as much traffic as there was pre-pandemic, but of course if you go onto the highways you can see that there is fairly dense traffic, especially at those rush hours in the morning, around lunchtime, and again later in the afternoon, because as we know this is a big city and that is why we have that smog layer. So I'll continue my walk now. I have also started my fitness plan for 2021, trying to lose an extra few kilos that I have put on over that Christmas break, having trouble getting rid of them at the moment. Not easy to get rid of a few extra kilos in this country because of the food and drink culture, but I'd say I probably have to lose about 3, 4, maybe 5 kilos. So I'm going to set myself that target and see if I can achieve that goal. I think there's going to be a lot of walking involved, a lot of hiking. I can't run as often as I would like because my knees are dodgy nowadays. I might be able to get onto the bike. That could be another option, but definitely a lot of walking will be involved in my fitness campaign 2021. And we're lucky here to have these open spaces because if you live in the capital city, it's a lot more difficult to find space like this. A lot of the parks there are very crowded. Then of course, if you want to get out of the city, you have to take public transport if you don't have a car. And then of course, you're going to be going to somewhere where there's also most likely a lot of people. But here, as you can see, no one around. Maybe at the weekends it's a little bit different. There's lots of cyclists in this area, lots of people out walking, trying to get fit. But during the week here, fantastic to be able to get out and about, go for a walk and not bump into too many people. Now the vaccination campaign is back in the news today. Everybody asking the question, when is it going to speed up? There was an article about Gibraltar, and apparently down there they have 80% of the population vaccinated, and they're going to start vaccinating the people that cross the border every day to work. So Spanish people living in that Campo de Gibraltar, the Gibraltar area down there that cross the border, are going to have access to the vaccine very, very shortly. Here in Spain, it is not the case. Somebody said, yeah, well, Gibraltar's only a small place. It's easy for them to do it. But I don't think even pueblos here that have 5,000, 10,000 people have an 80% vaccination rate. I might be mistaken, but I don't think that is the case. The government seems confident, however, that we are going to meet the objectives that they have set. I think 70% of the population vaccinated by the end of summer is their objective, and the health minister seems optimistic, the Prime Minister is optimistic, and the European Commission is also optimistic that we are going to meet those targets. They're talking about having access to a lot more vaccines in April, May, June, so hopefully that is going to be the case. And they're also debating at the moment whether that AstraZeneca vaccine should be given to people over the ages of 55, like it has been done now in Germany and I think France as well. So Spain, one of the only countries that are limiting the use of the AstraZeneca campaign. A couple of my students have received that vaccine in the last few days. One of them was in bed for 1.5 days as a result. The other person had no side effects at all. So a little bit hit and miss when it comes to the AstraZeneca, I must say, from what I am hearing at the moment. But that is where we are at. Some countries very advanced and other countries not very advanced. Talking to somebody yesterday in Ireland, he also said that it's a bit slow there as well. So the European Union, it seems a bit slow when it comes to their vaccination vaccination campaigns. On that note, I'm going to wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. I'll leave you with these fantastic views of this barren wasteland. Obviously, I can't have the Atlantic Sea behind me because they won't let me travel to Portugal, and I can't even get the Mediterranean Sea into the frame either because I'm not allowed to go to Malaga, Valencia, Alicante, or even Barcelona. So this is what we have at the moment, this desolate, barren wasteland here in the community of Madrid. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the situation out. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta mañana.